engagement.
Yet still
And we all know who's hosting.
unchangeable.
She been waiting far too long now. Let's do this.
Hey, no matter how the dollar might stack up, me still not change. Me I go steer up.
Here's our host, Mahindra Brown.
Giddy and you have to buckle up your lace beast.
Youth Flex is a call-in program. You can call us at 1-800-534-8255.
Be wise and don't bring disgrace. So me take up the broom.
Okay, on a ready now? Here is Mahendra Brown.
We ain't giving up now. We put up a fight.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Youth Flex Radio Show, the show for all people by young people. I am your host, Mahindra, and welcome to the season of engagement. This week, we'll be talking with more of the Prof. Them honorees and the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Conley, Minister of Education, Youth, Sports, Agriculture, and Lands. I am super excited to speak with the others later in the show.
Youth Flex has partnered with Clifton Hunter High School, John Gray High School, and the Public Library to bring you the word of the week, which is Constitution. Constitution. It is a statement of the basic principles and laws of the nation, state, or group, such as the Cayman Islands Constitution. Constitution can also refer to the physical makeup of a person.
So let's get started with the season of engagement. In the upcoming weeks, we'll be playing one of our favorite Jermaine Edwards songs, and we would really appreciate for the audience to vote. Please call us at 1-800-534-8255. That's 1-800-534-8255. Toll-free courtesy of Flow. Or you can do this on YouTube Live.
But before we chat with our guests, let's take our first music break. Here is Black Eyed Peas with Boom Boom Pow.
It's Youth Flex, more than talk.
Welcome back, our dear listeners. We have the Proud of Them honorees with us. Can you guys please introduce yourself around the table?
Hi, my name is Nisa Gadet. I'm being honored for academics, and I am 22 years old.
Good evening. I am Aliyah Myers. I'm being nominated for academics, and I'm 16 years old.
Good afternoon. My name is Arnold Berry, and I'm being nominated for academics. I'm 17 years old.
How did you feel about being selected?
I felt very honored to be selected to represent my country this way, and it is definitely a boost to my confidence overall.
I would agree with Nessa also. I think it's really an honor. It's something great knowing that you're noticed for your accomplishment. Usually I would always say, like, you know, it doesn't matter if anybody, like, acknowledges me for anything that I do, because I know, like, God is always in heaven looking down on what I'm doing. Yeah. But it's really nice to know that you've been nominated for something like this, and also very humbling too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my fellow honorees said it perfectly. I don't know what else I could add, but it is an honor, you know, to be recognized for what we've done and what we can do.
So since you guys are saying how much you're honored for being recognized for what you guys do, can you please share with us what are some of the achievements that you have made that you feel that kind of helped pertain to this big achievement that you have done?
I guess I'll go first then. It's really weird sometimes talking about my achievement because, you know, I'm not a person that likes self-adoration. But during my time at John Gray, I had some really great achievements. I received Best Report numerous times, top student in my academy, top student in my year group, and I also passed with 14 external passes, including 2 CAPE subjects, which I took, along with Chanel.
Who's next? Come on now.
Niece's next.
So I attended UCCI to achieve my associates in social studies. I graduated on the dean's list with honors, and I was also awarded the social studies student of the year. I also went on to pursue my bachelor's in sociology at the University of Tampa, in which I also graduated with magna cum laude honors. I was also accepted into 2 academic honor societies. Then I moved on to pursue my master's in economic development at Penn State University. And I also graduated as an academic honor society member, while also working full-time with the Anti-Money Laundering Unit of the Cayman Islands government. And I also, while graduating, completed my thesis paper on women's poverty in Latin America and the Caribbean. And I hope to get that published very soon.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Azalea, I had many accolades through my high school tenure, finishing amongst the top 10 in the school, achieving 11 external passes, 9 of them being grade 1, getting the Principal's Award representing Cayman at multiple conventions overseas, involvement in my community and in my school life. So I think that's what I've been nominated for.
Who and what motivated you to reach these many achievements or accomplishments that you now have?
My parents.
Yeah, my parents as well. I guess I would also say myself. I think that over time I just wanted to prove to my own self, not to anybody else, that I could do what I actually set my mind to do. So yeah.
For me, I would say it pretty much came from not wanting to settle for less. I had to push myself to know that in life I can really achieve anything that I put my mind to, because knowing that I've been through so much with my parents, meeting in a car accident at such a young age, I really had to push myself to find the gap that education was really my only way out of bettering myself and ensuring that I can become something in life and really achieve what I want to achieve.
Mm-hmm. Wow, she said it all. So I wanted to ask you guys, I know that some of you guys don't know, or you guys probably might know the answer to this question. Do you know who nominated you?
Yeah, my mom nominated me, and she told me that she was nominating me. So it wasn't a surprise, but definitely it felt good that she wanted to do that for me. So.
Well, a family friend nominated me, and I didn't even know it was this that I was being nominated for, because she just emailed me and she was like, send me some evidence of your like achievements. And I was like, okay. And then I just sent her stuff. And it felt like a year, but probably like a good long months after I just get this phone call. And I was like, I didn't even know I was nominated for this.
Yeah, a family friend nominated me as well. And like Leah said, a month or two afterwards, I got the phone call from Jamo. And I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Do you know where your billboard is located?
Yeah, me and Ali are up Frankson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you guys every morning.
Every morning and evening on my way to school.
How about you?
I'm by Kings, facing east. So everyone from east comes down in the morning, sees my face. But I barely see it. I have to actually do special visits to go up there.
Oh yeah, I barely see mine too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen mine yet at all. I haven't seen mine yet.
You look wonderful. Don't worry. You look
Yeah,
good.
it looks great.
Yeah, it really looks good. So I wanted to ask you, do you think that having your billboard up, do you think it would motivate the young Caymanians to strive and do better and to try to get up on the billboard?
I think it should. I mean, that serves its purpose.
Yeah.
The idea of this whole program is to have young Caymanians come forward and be recommended for what they can achieve and what they have achieved. And they've been doing this since 2011, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's been doing a good job. As Jamo said in other interviews, they've been trying to push us more and have a bigger turnout and bigger response from the community to recognize the young people.
Mm-hmm. When I used to look at the billboards, I definitely wanted to see my face up there, so I don't see why other young people wouldn't want to see theirs when they look at ours. So
yeah, I definitely agree with the same thing. It should be something that should push you to strive, because not just the fact that people are seeing you, but if you're someone who really wants to apply for like a great university or you want to get any opportunity in life, it's really something great to have on a resume. So I feel like that should be like the biggest motivator for anybody that wants to go on there.
Have you experienced any change in your life since you got nominated for the Proud of Them award?
Attention.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I remember I went up to Clifton Hunter the day after my sign went up, and I only saw 3 people, and the 3 people I saw was like, oh, I saw your sign.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, you have that attention to you, and now your name is out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, some random people have come up to me saying that they saw me, but they don't actually know me, so
yeah,
like being recognized by people that don't actually know me.
So since we're in our season of engagement, I want to ask you, how are you engaged in the community?
Well, I take part heavily in my school. I mean, I go there every day, so I feel like I should pay back somewhat to my school, you know. I mentor students in the younger years, play sports for the school, stuff like that.
My involvement in the community really came from me doing environmental stuff, such as like working with Plastic Free Cayman, our CPR Cayman for the Cruise Port referendum. Things like that were really what I love doing, and I'm still doing now. And also when I served at head girl at John Gray High School, one of my main goals was to really get the young girls interested in picking more STEM subjects and trying to open their eyes to see that there's really different careers that you can branch off into, and getting the young girls to really realize that they shouldn't sit back for a second, just really try to put yourself out there and gain every single opportunity that's possible.
So I'm involved with my church group, and Generation 412 is another young people's Christian group. We frequently, every year, we go on mission trips to different countries. I've been to Dominican Republic, Haiti, Panama, and a few other countries, and we help them physically with resources and supplies, but also we provide some spiritual help to them as well.
What are some of your future goals and aspirations?
Everyone's looking at me like I have to start this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, near my goals in the near future. That's what took so long to get out. My goals in the near future is to go to university. I go to university in September. Hopefully, I'll follow through with that and get my degree in civil engineering. Come back here to work and hopefully start my own business someday. You know.
My goals would be to become either an environmental scientist, a meteorologist, or hydrogeologist, because not just really because I'm so fascinated by the environment and everything that happens in it, but just knowing that I can always give back a contribution to Cayman of doing research in the environment or helping people know more about our environment is something that I really would love to do. And just as like a minor goal for the future, I'm really hoping that I do really good on my A-level exams, because A-levels, I mean, once you study, you'll get through it, but they're quite hard, so you have to continue doing repetition of studying over and over again. So my goal would just be to get the best possible grade in my AS in A2.
I tested this, so.
So in the future, I'd hope to situate myself in the development field, in terms of community and economic development, so that I can improve our community, but also communities abroad, poor communities, so that they can improve through my use of economic analysis and research. I also hope to start some nonprofit organizations which focuses on women's poverty and community development. Oh yeah.
So we have to take a quick music break. Here is this week's top pick from Jermaine Edwards, Won't Stop Me.
Lord, I will always keep you in my heart, 'cause nothing and no one can take you away from me. I'd rather sell everything that I have than sell my soul for an idol. Won't be deceived. Won't be deceived. Lord, you never said it would be easy taking this narrow road journey. I see them run fast but end up lost, 'cause they didn't take the time to hear your voice. I see them mocking and laughing. It's a pity never saw it coming. Stiff necks with hearts of stone, but one day the truth must be told. Lord, I will always praise you. Oh, I just love you and adore you. They can call me a fool, but that won't stop me. Stop me from loving you. Oh, stop me from loving you. Lord, you never said carrying this cross was gonna be easy. Staying in the spirit so Satan cannot deceive me. Your word is my meditation. I'm gonna stand through persecution. Blinded by the things I want to take me from you. Go rub my mind with the things I shouldn't do. I walked away and they call me a fool. But Lord, to you I'll only stay true, yeah. Lord, I will always praise you, yeah. I just love you and adore you. They can call me a fool,
Count on Us Cayman Limited. Count on Us Cayman Limited. Let me see where I can find this in this book.
Count on Us Cayman Limited? What are you talking about, Susie Q?
Nita, Count on Us Cayman Limited. Let me tell you, it is a small, robust service company in Cayman. They offer bookkeeping services, property management, and that's not all. They also offer a variety of other services, such as customs brokerage and Cayman auto and tech services.
Then it sounds like I don't have to run all over town like a chicken with its head cut off to get my business taken care of. I can just call. What's that place called again, Sue?
It's called Count on Us Cayman Limited. They take the time to understand your business. If you need more information, you can give them a call at 623-6941 or you can call 323-3995. And if you need to email them, the email address is info@countonuscaymanlimited.com.
Are you ready for the big game on Sunday, February 2nd? Stop by your local Foster's and stock up on party supplies and game day food to keep your crew going for 4 quarters of American football greatness. Need more than snacks but no time to prepare? Let Foster's cater with platters, prepared dishes, and appetizers to please any palate. With online platters and catering ordering at fosters.ky, it's never been easier to feast on game day.
Youth Flex for all people by young people.
Welcome back, our dear listeners. We are finally joined with the minister, Juliana O'Connor Conley. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I am blessed, especially after yesterday's occurrence. I'm eternally grateful that we still live in a land that we can say, oh God.
Yeah.
And he responds.
Yes. Yep. And we have the amazing Mr. Jamo. Mr. Jamo, how are you doing today?
Me. Must be my shirt. I good. Very good. So I had a good outreach with my office yesterday when the earth beneath us started to move. And I think it's very fitting that God send these reminders every now and then to let people know who's in charge. And that all that you work and toil for can be gone with one shake if you're not doing it for his glory. So to God be the glory. Everything that I do for it. So I went to sleep last night, slept really good, didn't worry about no tremors, nothing. It's in God's hands.
Amen.
So, Mrs. O'Connor Connolly, what is your vision for the Proud of Them program?
For it to grow from strength to strength and not little minutiae leaps. I believe that our youth is so significant and is formed such an integral part of our development and our nation building that we ought to put our money where our mouth is. And I think for so long, people talk about young people, and at convenient times you get glowing reports, or not so convenient times you see front page and the local media. And so people kind of got the concept that maybe Cayman young people were somewhere in the subterranean of our geographic infrastructure. And I'm privileged to lead a team with Jamo and others with the ministry and the youth unit and yourselves, that we can finally become meaningful and significant to our community. And I think to do that, like I did with the teachers, we wanted to upscale it. And I want at this particular juncture to really thank the organizers, Jamo and others, for putting on a really upscale event, and I'm sure you would concur that was really good. I was excited to see you guys walking with your attire that was like GQ magazine stepping out into it. And so next year, as you would have heard there, I've challenged them for it to be even more glitzy. And it's not because we want to be extravagant or we want to be frugal, but I don't believe that we can overspend when we invest in our young people, because you're not only the future, but the future is now when we develop for our young people. If we don't, we're going to have various gaps in our development, and we're going to lose a generation. And I am a firm, avid believer that not one child should be left behind. So that's why I'm excited about investing in our young people.
So, Honorees, how do you feel about hearing that message, just hearing it? How do you feel about that?
I do agree.
Yeah.
We are the backbones of our country. If you don't have a good youth, who's going to fill the seats?
Yeah. There's a lot of people, they don't understand that we're the future. We're going to be the ones kind of taking the roles and stuff like that. And if we don't have the proper education and someone to lead us and guide us, we will be strayed.
Education and God is the secret to success. That's what made Cayman the envy of the world. And when we deviate and go down old paths, we're going to find that the whole formula gets unbalanced. And so that's why I'm also excited, because everyone would know that, and I say that often, when I got elected 20-something years ago, they knew that I was a Christian. And thank God, even though I've been through politics and challenges, and I was a young person when I got in Parliament, and I'm still young at heart, I'd like to believe, that you don't have to change from your Christian values. In fact, that's what sets your character and instills that. I like to say that we're genetically encoded to keep our moral compasses going. So in times like yesterday, when you feel like you're alone at home, as when you had expressed earlier on, pre-show time, in fact, you're not real alone. God is everywhere, ever present, all powerful, and never ever be ashamed, young people, of talking about God. And not just talking, but living Him. If I had an eternity, I could tell you so many miraculous things that God did for me to get me where I am today, and I'm not finished yet. Like Caleb, he said, go and possess the land, the best is yet to come.
That's right. I'd be right there with you, Minister.
Amen.
So how do you feel about the current batch of the Proud of Them honorees?
Well, if I could change perhaps a nomenclature, I don't see them as batch. I see them as gyms that maybe need some dusting off, not because they're inadequate, but maybe they're a little bit shy, or they spend all their time studying, or they didn't really have more than one child in the family, maybe a single child, and they need that exposure, they need that education, need the empowerment, and they need the encouragement. So I see them as 4 E's, need to be shined a little bit, and sometimes that shining may be sandpaper, because there may be some things that have attached along the way that you need to get rid of so that you can be the diamond no matter where you go.
What message do you have for the current and prospective honorees?
The message that I have for you is that you are now change agents, and your mantra is to go forth and do as Caymanians and in fact Caribbean people have done. We've always had to struggle in so many things that we've done, but at the end of the day, history would recall that whether it's at university, whether it's at sports, whether it's just being a housewife or whatever, we know how to rise to the top. And if you fall down, I like to tell the story, and Jamo may have to explain this because some of you are quite young, about a buck toe, because now you have Nikes and Adidas and all those fancy shoes. Well, we used to be barefoot. And if you were coming from Easton to Georgetown walking, and you buck your toe, you wouldn't just stay down on the ground and have a self-pity party, but you would get up and do whatever you needed to do to remedy it and to nurse it to make sure that you got to your final destination. So likewise, life is no different. You'll get the back toes along the way. Get up, brush it off, call 911 or whatever you need to do. Go and Google and see what you need to do, but patch it up, get up, dress up, get out, and represent.
I fully agree with that. I really do. So, Mr. Jamo, now your turn.
All right, what do you want me to say?
I want to ask you, what are the changes at the program, of the program's format?
Oh, well, we did a whole sweep and change. It might have seemed seamless to those who just see the billboards up and see that they have a different design and that they're brightly painted. But the selection process was done through electronics. We didn't have a lot of paper nomination forms this time. We've shortened the ways that we can get the selection process done, even though we had a large number of nominations. And we have found ways of elevating the whole event around awarding the honorees. All comes at a cost, but thankfully for the minister and the ministry, they found a way to cover it for us. And going forward, I think there'll be great things. There'll be room for alumni, per se, of Proud of Them honorees, a way of keeping them together and keeping these change agents thinking of progressing the country and building the nation. And I think that is where all young people ought to be positioned, but especially these ones that stand out among their peers. Mm-hmm. They can be beacons of hope, beacons of encouragement for those that they now have somebody their age they can lean on. Not everybody could come running towards me or the minister for advice or for comfort, but they would come to their peers. And now we have established role models for them. And I think that's something that carries through with age groups as they move through the program.
So can you please tell our listeners about the selection process?
It's long. No, we try to make it shorter. We have a nomination period. It's normally about 3 weeks long. I think from here on out, we'll open it up for several months, and we'll have a deadline like October 15th or something. I'm to meet with my team to find out when we want the cutoff date, but we want to have everything kind of nailed down and ready for the ceremony in January, without any running into Christmas and all the other activities towards the end of the year.
So can you please tell us some of the categories that are in place for the young people to be recognized for?
Oh, there's always 6 of them. It is culture, academics, community service, careers, business, and sports. Those are the 6 categories. I don't think we could be changing them anytime soon. It makes it nice and broad for almost any young person to take part in. If one of those aren't your strengths, then find one. I'm pretty sure if all else, you can serve. And service is something that anybody can do and anybody should be doing. And that is one way of engaging young people into their community. And that's why we really, really wanted to have Proud of Them during this season of engagement. It's about encouraging young people to engage in their community, engage in their own little communities, whether it's at school, at sports, in business, whatever. And there's a way of them helping us to lift the nation. Our whole national economy depends on us all being involved.
So how do you think having the billboards up in this rewards program, how has it affected the past honorees?
Well, I get to hear a lot of the stories from almost all of them. And this is why sometimes when it comes to the award ceremony, when we ask for a guest speaker, we use one from among them. We use one of them, and I say, I want to remember which story that can really nail it for this new group that's being honored. The award ceremony this year, we used Miss Chantal Clark because her story spoke of one person kind of hammering home a mantra for her to keep her focused and to keep her going and to set her apart from her peers. And I think that's the message that needed to be challenged because a lot of the honorees this year was for academics. And once you make the mark in academics, sometimes you kind of relax on your laurels and think, I did well for myself. But it's time for you to reach back and do well for others. And I think that's one of the messages they should have got from the guest speaker. And that's why I try to listen to all the stories when they come on here. I get to hear a little bit more of their stories as well. And we keep our eye out for who our guest speaker would be the following year.
You know, I'd like to take this time to thank you, Minister and Mr. Jamo, for taking the actual the motivation and the actual time and effort to help the youth in Cayman, because if no one is going to help them, who will? You know, each of us, we all have our little shaky times, we all have our little shaky path, and thank you so much for trying to help to narrow the path and help us and support us to go through this path and help us to get to a wonderful goal or a wonderful place at a certain time, because we all know sometimes we all be at the wrong place at the wrong time and you know we all idle at our own times. But since we have this wonderful program to help us, to motivate us to try, and so that someone will see you when you're trying and when you're down and who will help you up and stuff like that, I really do appreciate it.
Well, the honor and privilege is always mine. When you pass 50, you start looking on the other side of the hill. So when I am in young people, and I teach Sunday school and do other youth programs as well, I get enthusiastic about it. It's energized me and I get my synergy. And if I can only help but one young person, I'd like to think that Jamo and I can help much more than that. I think that, you know, when I move on into retirement, I can feel relaxed and satisfied that, you know, Cayman is in good hands. And each year I get more and more excited at the caliber and the level that we see coming forth out of this program. And so I'm already excited about next year and wondering, you know, who Jamo will select to be the guest speaker, because this year it was awesome. I mean, even if you didn't remember anything, you remember the 4 questions, and I think that in itself would resonate in the minds of everybody that's there. And the other thing that I would like to also see while I have the responsibility of being a minister responsible for youth, is to make the invitation list a little bit broader, because I think that who we are producing as young people is perhaps the best kept secret. So perhaps we may look at bringing in some of the community movers and shakers, so that when you go fill out your resume, they won't be guessing, trying to figure out who you are. They would have seen you not just in the billboards while they wait in traffic, etc., but they would have seen you shine as you walk in it. And Jamo and I were talking before we came in that we want to, and I haven't spoken to cadets yet, but they're always good when I ask them to do things. They come and help me to get you all, the next set of recipients, escorted in by the cadets on a red carpet, really glitzy Hollywood style affair. And also, as Jamo also suggested, incorporate the scouts as well, some of the younger uniform branches, so that when you step out that night, you really step in. And I want to do that so that other young people, as they look, and hope they get it televised, so that as they look and see how you achieved it, they won't think that you're just a nerd at one of our high schools or community college that's studying all the time and don't want to go to next level or station or wherever, but that in fact you have set your next level and you have determined your station, and it's the pursuit of excellence.
Do you have any final comments or shout-outs?
Yeah, I wish that the alphabet didn't have the letters AGE, and that we could find the fountain of youth, because I quite enjoyed my youthfulness. And as I see all you have more opportunities that Jamo and I had when we were young people, more access to internet and computers and the social media. I think that if I could rewind a little bit, I would mind going back into the classroom and have a real impact in teaching, which is my first love. I mean, I like law, I liked being in the courtroom, I love politics, but teaching was really my first love. And what I see coming forward now from our government schools with the change of the curriculum, the opportunities for scholarship, I would like to be maybe 30 years younger back at the high school teaching and influence to get more young people, because there's no one born stupid. And I would like Jamo to come to me and say, Minister, we have so many that we no longer can choose 12. The number has gone up much more. That's how we're going to build Cayman. I want to be a part of that.
Okay. How about you, Arnold?
My final thoughts is that I'm glad that we've become a beacon for the youth. People will look at us, be like they want to be on the billboard, and that will be their motivation. That could be their motivation. People that have other motivations as well, but it's a way to engage the youth and have them reach that goal that is set.
My last comments would have to be is, as I said before in my last interview, try to grasp every single opportunity that is given to you. Don't let anything pass you and then in the future have the regret that, I should have taken up that opportunity that day. Or don't let the excuse be, oh my gosh, I don't have a ride, so I'm not going to show up. Take your phone out, call somebody up, say, you live beside me, can I please get a ride with you? Try to figure out a way to ensure that every single opportunity that comes your way, you are grasping it as a young person, because you really never know in the future what those opportunities are going to do for you or how they can help you. So always try to put yourself at the forefront to be ready for any opportunity that comes your way.
Yeah, as my mother would say, don't settle for mediocre if you can strive for excellence.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I would say that, echoing the minister's comments, I feel very honored that we are all a part of this growing process, that we are a part of the this path that the program has provided for us, that we're continually improving the entire program, and that every child has the opportunity to represent their country in this way, and they will continue to have that opportunity in the future.
How about you, Mr. Jamo?
Final comments from me. And we got not much time left. You want me to use it all up?
No.
Okay. No, I want to thank the minister and the ministry, and especially DCO Joel Francis, who has been a push behind this from the very first day. And it wasn't easy getting this done at first. We had challenges with just erecting billboards, and even more to keep them up and to maintain them over time. And it was done with limited budget. Now, with the ministry fully behind it, it feels so good to be free to take young people to a different level. I mean, like, just go, dream it up, get it done. And I'm like, wow, that's a whole different feeling than, oh, what we could do with this $50. We can't get nothing done with $50, right? And we got to beg for volunteers and scratch and then make it happen somehow. But with the ministry supporting us, I see great things with this program. With it being in the hands of the Youth Services Unit, we always try to leave room for God in everything that we do, and then we know it could get really great. So that is how we plan to take it forward, and with his lead, I know we can't go wrong.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming onto the show today. We have to go to another music break. Here is Whoopi Goldberg featuring Lauryn Hill, Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
outdoor and household settings. As a weekly habit, persons should change the water in vases, clear the water in saucers under potted plants, and ensure air conditioner drip trays are free of stagnant water. Outdoor objects capable of holding water should be kept empty and preferably disposed of or put into dry storage if not used. These include open bottles and tins, watering cans, buckets, empty paint tins, and old vehicle tires. Do your part to control the spread of dengue. The dengue virus is an infectious disease transmitted through mosquito bites. Symptoms may come on as early as 4 days or as late as 3 weeks following an infection. There is no vaccine or specific medication to treat dengue. Symptoms of dengue include high fever, headache, pain behind the eyes, joint and muscle pain, and rash. If persons have any of these symptoms, they should go to the nearest health center or hospital. It is advised to drink lots of liquids and avoid medication that contains aspirin.
This is a reminder for you that on Thursday at 7 p.m. on Radio Cayman, you're invited to listen in to a repeat broadcast of the CI Retro Talk Today special presentation, when the focus was on exploring and celebrating the path to the first Cayman Islands written constitution in 1959. CI politics and governance. You'll hear from some of those who walked that path and fought in an effort to secure and preserve the CI identity. This CI Retro Talk Today presentation is being brought to you by Parsons Air Conditioning, Refrigeration and Appliances on West Church Street in West Bay. Call Parsons at 949-3945 for all of your air conditioning, refrigeration and appliance needs. That's on Thursday at 7 p.m., the next presentation of CI Retro Talk Today on Radio Cayman.
This is Youth Flex, more than talk.
Welcome back, my dear listeners. We're going to answer to our first caller.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I didn't want to miss an opportunity to wish such lovely persons.
Who would that be?
To give them, to congratulate. I was waiting a little while, so I kind of lost my thought there. I wanted to congratulate those who are nominated for the Billboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I look forward to the extension of this program where we will know more about you before your picture goes on the Billboard so that we can appreciate you more.
Yes,
so
we
right
really
now
do
I can
appreciate
say
it.
I appreciate you, but like I couldn't recognize your voices to know which one of you were talking. Would have been nice if you had said your name or indicated who was talking so I could follow you a little better to know who was who in the studio.
Well, we have them here right now, Mom. They're actually in the room. We're on the table.
So yeah, I'm.
That doesn't help me.
Go ahead, Arnold.
Anyway, the other something I would like to see is your photos, your billboards rotated around the island. How long are they generally up?
Before it was 6 months, but now it's a year.
Yes, 1 year.
Okay, so that gives us enough time. We got what, 4 quarters, 3 quarters, 12, that they could be rotated around the island, especially in your district, the district you're from.
That's actually a wonderful idea.
Thank you for this time, and I look forward to driving through East Bend or wherever the others are located.
Would you like to find out where the nominees' billboards are up right now?
I would, yeah.
Honorees, can you please tell her where your billboards are up?
Mine is in Frankstown.
Aaliyah Myers, and mine is also in Frankstown.
Nisa Garet, mine is by Kings facing east.
All right.
All
right.
There's only 3 in there this afternoon?
Yes, Mom.
Will the others be interviewed next time?
Yes, we'll be having more honorees next week, next Wednesday,
Oh,
4 to 5.
look forward to hearing them and getting to know more about them, so when I see their faces on the billboard, I can be happier.
Yes, Mom.
So these two that are in Frankstown, what district do they live in? The two that have their photos in Frankstown, what district do those two live in?
You guys can answer.
I actually live in Georgetown.
I live in Bordentown.
See that? And King, the one that has her at King,
I live around West Bay Road.
see that? Yeah, we gotta do something with that rotation. Have a great evening and thank you for sharing. I know it's not easy to be on radio because I have a problem with calling in. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
for calling.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. You have to take Jamo up on that one.
All right, we'll now have news and highlights by Chanel and Chloe.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our Sometime After 4 news is brought to you by Youth Flex Radio Show. I am Chanel. We are very thankful to God for His mercies extended towards us during and after the 7.7 magnitude earthquake that rocked us yesterday. Schools are out today as officials inspect school buildings, but we anticipate that school will resume soon. The National Youth Culinary Program, West Bay District Youth Cook-Off, will be held this Saturday at the Lighthouse School starting at 6 p.m. The winner will join the other district champions at the 53rd Agricultural Show on Ash Wednesday to see who will lift the Tanya Foster Cup in 2020. The National Youth Cook-Off is sponsored by the Department of Tourism, the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, Agriculture and Lands, Cayman National, Cayman First, Home Gas Limited, the New Self-Help Community Foundation, Fosters, the Cayman Islands Agricultural Society, and the Sandbar. The Youth Services Unit just concluded their very first College Week last Friday. The unit wishes to thank their partners, Cayman Academy, local, regional, and international tertiary institutions, Home Gas Limited, and the hundreds of students, teachers, and parents for making College Week 2020 a wonderful success. They are now focusing on their next special event, the BRAC Spring Weekend, scheduled for March 6th to 9th, and plan to have 2 Commonwealth Day concerts, headlined by Jamaica's award-winning gospel artist, Jermaine Edwards. From the Youth Achievement Highlight Files, here's Chloe. From the Youth Achievement Highlight Files, here are this week's notables. We couldn't be prouder of our very own young people as we're glad to continue bragging about men. Huge big up to all 12 of the round 11 Proud of Them honorees who are recognized for their outstanding achievements. Once again, they are Abigail Seymour, Alea Myers, Arnold Berry, Hannah Peralta, Janelle Woods, John Michael Bodden, Lorena Morejon, Nessa Gadet, Rayanne Ebanks-Hides, Shakira Ebanks, Stephon Wright, and Zariah Anglin. Congratulations to all the young people who took part in the National Heroes Day celebrations on Monday. A special shout out to the Georgetown District Youth Cook-Off champions, Christopher Mason and Elizabeth Poussey, of UCCI School of Hospitality. They will join the other district champions from East End, Northside, Caymanbrac, and Bordentown at the National Youth Cook-Off at the Agriculture Show. To put items on the highlights, email the flex at james.miles@gov.ky or leave your comments on our Instagram or Facebook page. Just search for Youth Flex Radio Show. That concludes our highlights this week. I'm Chloe.
Thank you so much, Chloe and Chanel. We were kind of hoping to the round table, but oh my gosh, 5 o'clock, we gotta wrap up.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere?
Yeah, 5 o'clock somewhere. So we're going to have to go straight into credits. Oh my gosh. Here you go, Chloe.
Thank you for joining us on Youth Flex today. I'm your co-host Chloe with our host Mohendra. Shout out to our guests, 3 of the round 12 Proud of Them honorees, Alea Myers, Arnold Barry, and Nessa Gadet, along with the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly. Shout out to Radio Cayman for their work on sounding boards, Mr. Wilson Natcha, DJ Lynn, and DJ Silver Fox. Shout out to RJ for the live YouTube feed. Also, special shout out to our Youth Flex crew, Jared on socials and community service, Ellie and Michael are musical directors, Gabby, Daniel, and Chanel are Youth Flex news desk, and Angel our promo director, along with the 100+ Flex fam all over the globe. Thanks to SIFA for sponsoring the Super Jam, and to you, our listeners, for tuning in every Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. for Youth Flex on 89.9 FM. Join us again next Wednesday for Youth Flex's Season of Engagement. Until next week, this is your co-host Chloe letting you know that you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending, so do your part and make a change today.
Follow Radio Cayman on Twitter. All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Follow us at twitter.com/Radio Cayman. Welcome.